Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, welcome. Come on in and join the family. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and remember the notification bell so you can be reminded every time I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel, I create lovely DIYs using mostly items that I find at the Dollar Tree. I try to keep my DIYs budget friendly but easy to do. If you want to see some more of my fall creations, then keep watching. In this video, I'll be creating some high-end looking fall decor. Also, I just want to let everyone know that I do have 2 more fall DIY videos that I will be putting out, and then I'm going to move into some other things. So for this first DIY, I'll be using 2 of these fall picks that I found at Walmart, and I paid $2.98 for these, and I will be using 2 for this DIY. And the items that I will be using from the Dollar Tree is this cute little velvet pumpkin that I found. I also will be using some of these berry bunches. I have 2 bunches of these florals, and I also will be using one of the rugs from the Dollar Tree. Now the Dollar Tree sell these rugs in other colors, but I wanted to go in with this green one. And so I will be using some of this foam board, and I just cut off a piece of the foam board, the ones that you purchase from the Dollar Tree. What I did was I kept the foam board landscape size so I won't have to cut it on both ends, and I just measured a piece that will fit in between the folded rug, and I just folded the rug in half, and I just kind of measured it to where I have a little bit on each side. And like I said, it was landscape, so I didn't have to cut it but once. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of foam and I am going to glue it in the inside of this rug. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it in the middle so that the rug will glue down in the back, and you won't see that when you flip it over. And I'm just adding enough glue to make sure that everything is tacked down, and I am going to go in and add some glue on each end. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start attaching my floral, and I'm going to take the 2 large picks that I purchased from Walmart, and I'm just going to glue it down by the stem, and then I'm going to glue the other one facing the opposite way. I'm just going to glue it down this way. That way, if I decided to redo this for next season, I can pull these up, so I didn't want to have to cut off them. And plus, this just make it easy to decorate. And I'm just moving my pumpkins around because I am going to take that velvet pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue that right in the center of those 4 pumpkins. And what I'm doing is making sure that everything is tight, and then I'm going to fluff out my leaves a little bit. And now I'm going to add the remaining decor. I'm going to take my florals and my berries, and I'm just going to pull all of those off of the bunch. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and add my berries in between each pumpkin. And then I'm going to take the last berry and put it on the other side. I'll fix that tightly once I flip it around. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and start adding my floral pieces. And then after I add all of these pieces, this DIY will be complete. I really like how this turned out. It's so simple, and I didn't want to add too many different colors to this. I love that you can also add some twine to the back of this, and this will be cute hanging over a doorway. I love it. I will be styling this fall decor on my table, my cocktail table in my living room. I think this is so pretty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on the second DIY for today. And what I will be using for that DIY, I will be using one of these pretty drinking glasses from the Dollar Tree. I love the shape of this glass, so I really wanted to use it. I have a bunch of floral pieces over here. I'll be using 2 of these pretty green bunches. I have 2 of these pretty orange bunches. I will be using 2 of the willow bunches as well, and I have those, and they kind of look like they're gold. I love this color, and I also have the green berry pick that I'll be using. Also for this DIY, I will be using jute cord, and this one is not the one from the Dollar Tree. As you can see, I ran out of that one, so I'll be using some that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I'll be using this textured rust color paint that I purchased at Walmart, and I got this on clearance for $1, and I'm going to paint this glass using this spray paint, and I only went over it with 1 coat. The filler that I'll be using for this face will be some of the Dollar Tree rocks, and that's why I only went over this with 1 coat of the spray paint. And since I'll be using rocks as a filler for this DIY, I only went over it with 1 coat of spray paint. If you want a full coverage, you can use 2 coats. This spray paint is really pretty. It have a texture look to it. It's really pretty if you add 2 coats. And what I'm doing is just wrapping the bottom of my glass with this jute cord. I'm going to go over it maybe 2 or 3 times. I want to get a thick, messy look for the bottom of it. And I'm just going to add the glue and continue wrapping the base of this glass. So I do have 2 more fall DIY videos that I'll be uploading, and then I'm going to be moving into some other home decor. I'm definitely excited about Christmas because I love Christmas. I may put up a Halloween DIY video. I don't have much spooky Halloween decor, but I do have some cute little DIYs that I create to sit around the house for the boys, and so I may upload that video, and then I'm going to move into some other home decor ideas. And now that I've completed wrapping the base, I did take all of the leaves off of these bunches, and I did cut them down to the last notch, and I did all of them like that. And what I'm going to do is go in with my rocks that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to add them into the glass. And I'm just adding in my florals 1 bunch at a time, kind of spreading them out. I want to just make sure that I have like an even look throughout the arrangement, and I'm just going to go in with all of the florals, the berries, and just get everything arranged. And I'm going to style this with these cute little pumpkins, and I found this other velvet pumpkin in a darker color from the Dollar Tree. I removed the stem off of that one. I got this cute little pumpkin here from Walmart for 98 cents, and I found this beautiful green one from the Dollar Tree as well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the one that I purchased from Walmart and glue it right on top of the velvet pumpkin. And I'm just going to press it down to make sure it's glued tightly. And then I'm going to take a piece of twine and I'm just going to tie a little bow in the middle of these 2 pumpkins. I thought this color scheme of pumpkins would look great style with this arrangement, and I really like how it turned out. So pretty, so simple, but I love the color scheme. I think this is absolutely beautiful, and it do give you a high-end look. I think this turned out really nice, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on the next DIY for today. And this DIY is very simple. What I'll be using is a piece of this poster board, and so I left a tag on the back so you can see this was one of the poster boards, and it was at Hobby Lobby for 59 cents. And what I did was I just cut a piece of the board to the size of this 8x10 picture frame, and I purchased this picture frame from the Dollar Tree. Also, I'll be using, out of this 3-pack of wordings that the Dollar Tree sell, they have 3 different sayings, and I'm going to go with the one that says welcome for this DIY. Also for this DIY, I have one of those vines, those fall vines from the Dollar Tree, and I just pulled off 2 of the leaves because that's all I'll be using for this DIY. This DIY here is very simple. I am going to remove the backings from this pictured frame. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that piece of poster board to the back of this pictured frame cardboard piece, and I'm just adding glue in the 4 corners because that's all I need, since this will be inside of the glass. And I'm just going to press down the corners, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with those 2 leaves and I'm going to glue them right at the top, and I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach those. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take that word welcome. I'm not going to paint it or anything. I'm just going to leave it like it is, and I'm going to attach some hot glue to that, and I'm going to glue that down on to the poster board paper as well. And I'm just going to add some glue to the 4 corners just to make sure that everything is secure. And then I'm going to take some of that jute cord and I'm going to attach it to the back of this frame so that it can hang. I don't want it to hang from the little piece that's already there because those are not usually secure enough. And I'm just going to take some of that tape, the tape that I purchased from Walmart. I love this tape. And I'm just going to go right on top of the piece of jute cord, and then I'm going to cut off the extra hanging cord. And so I really like how it turned out. This was very simple and easy to do, but I like that it gives you a high-end look. Very cute. I will be hanging this by my front door. I think this turned out really, really nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on the last DIY for today. And so what I'll be using for the final DIY will be 3 of these wood fall hanging signs from the Dollar Tree. I also will be using some of the decorative rope from the Dollar Tree, and I do have the larger piece. The Dollar Tree has a smaller version of this that I love, but I'll be using that larger piece. I will be using the home word out of this leftover saying that I used in a previous DIY. I have 2 of these greenery bunches from Walmart, and they were 98 cents. And I have 2 of these pretty floral clips from Walmart, and they were 98 cents as well. And I removed the clip piece, and I'll be removing the other one from that one as well. And I will be using my plaster color chalk paint as well as my antique color. The first thing that I'm going to do is glue all 3 of these wood pieces together using my hot glue. And I'm just making sure that everything is tight and secure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with that plaster color chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the whole DIY using that color. And I think I said I was using antique color chalk paint, but I meant to say truffle color. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to distress around this sign, and I'm going to go all around and also in the middle. I'm not going to distress it on both ends because it will be covered up with some floral. And so what I'm going to do is now just go in and distress the one in the middle. And now that I have completed that, I'm now going to add in my decor items. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all of these greenery pieces off of the bunch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the greenery pieces, and I'm going to glue them around the trimming of the sign, not in the middle, just on each end. I'm going to go around the trimmings. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add them around, and I'm just putting them around each side so I can make sure that I have an even amount of floral that I'm going to attach to each end. And like I said, I'm not going to go around the one in the middle. I'm just making sure I have enough for each side. And then what I'm going to do is glue all of these pieces down with my hot glue. And so I decided to go in with some berries from the Dollar Tree off this bunch that I purchased, and I'm going to go in with one on each side. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to glue down my pretty flowers, and I'm just going to add some hot glue and tack that down. I'm just fluffing it out to make sure that everything is covered. And then after I complete that, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add that word home to the center. And so this is how my sign is looking so far. Very cute. And now I'm going to attach my rope, and I want the rope attached from the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a nice amount of glue, and I'm going to hold the rope there for a minute to make sure that it's secure. And then I'm going to go in and add the rope to the other side, and then my sign will be complete. I really like how this turned out. This was so simple and easy to make, but it is so beautiful. I really enjoyed creating all of these DIYs today. I really am happy with how they turned out. As always, let me know in the comment box down below which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And here's another look of all of the DIYs that I have created today. Thank you all so much for watching another one of my videos. I truly appreciate your support. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. Guys, as always, please stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.